Hi, Alex Polyak here. This time, we'll dive into one of the most legendary myths in GTA history, Bigfoot. We'll look back at how it all began. We'll explore both well-known and little-known facts you might not know. We'll learn how it went from a simple fan theory to a fully fledged element of the Grand Theft Auto series. Let's get started. While the legend of Bigfoot in GTA begins with San Andreas, released in 2004, some very indirect references to this creature actually appeared 2 years earlier, in Vice City. Near the movie studio, there's a poster for an old film called The Hairy Beast from Hell, and next to it, a Bigfoot-like creature is depicted. The real-life inspiration for this poster is a gorilla, but Vice City doesn't have that information, making it quite reminiscent of the mythical creature from the forest. Of course, this detail doesn't mean anything, but it certainly looks like an early prototype of Bigfoot in the GTA universe. The only place this creature is definitely mentioned is in the booklet. Yes, the very booklet that came with the game's discs. There, in the Special Thanks section, Bigfoot is listed. It's nice to know such a professional worked on Vice City. By the way, I was also curious to check the GTA 3 booklet, but I didn't notice anything suspicious. It does have monkey, though, so you could say Bigfoot's distant ancestor has been discovered here, but I'm not serious. Of course, all of this is extremely indirect, and it didn't really spark much interest among players. But then came San Andreas, the first GTA game to feature a rural setting. It wasn't just fields and farms, but also large, mysterious forests. Finding yourself in such a place, many people had the feeling that something strange, even creepy, might be going on there. Rumors of Bigfoot began circulating almost immediately after the game's release. Bobby Vermeij, technical director at Rockstar North, later recalled in his blog that some players began to perceive the sounds of CJ's growling stomach as Bigfoot's roar and went searching for the creature on Mount Chiliad. Admittedly, these sounds can be quite misleading. Let's take a look. Ultimately, the main search took place in the forests of Flint and Whetstone counties, as well as in the Mount Chiliad area. Players also noticed certain details that seemed suspicious. For example, it was noted that the Back Beyond area on the map resembled a large footprint. Some also spotted something resembling a big footprint in the texture of a dirt road. Incidentally, real-life searches for this creature were also often based on footprints. Another clue in the game was the fallen and broken trees scattered throughout the forest. In the early years, various fake screenshots featuring Bigfoot circulated online. This became so widespread that Rockstar Games employees were forced to debunk these myths. Rockstar made it clear that there was no mystical creature in GTA San Andreas, but that didn't stop fans, and the search continued. Furthermore, in addition to fake screenshots, fake videos featuring modified versions of the game began to appear. And yet, despite the fakes, Bigfoot is real in the game and anyone can spot him. You have 5 seconds to guess. Of course, I'm talking about the powerful monster SUV, which was inspired by real-life monster trucks, including the legendary Bigfoot. Seriously, there are a couple of things in San Andreas that are slightly related to this creature. First, there's a mention of the Yeti on the radio, which few people paid attention to.
I just want to tell people about a great holiday.
You mean vacation? We call it vacation. What is it? Searching for a Yeti in the Himalayas? Learning to play an alpine horn? Hunting for pythons in Africa?
No, Canada.
But it's important to understand that Yeti and Bigfoot are different. Yeti is a legend about a large humanoid creature living in the Asian mountains, roughly in the Himalayas, while Bigfoot or Sasquatch is a myth about a similar creature in the forests of North America. Although in rare cases, Bigfoot and Yeti can be synonymous. It's also important to note that, judging by the context, the radio conversation doesn't hint at the possibility of encountering this mythical creature in the game. Still, it's safe to say that the first mention of a Bigfoot-type creature in the GTA series is on the radio in San Andreas. But that's not all. The booklets included with the GTA San Andreas discs, as well as those in Vice City, mention a man nicknamed Bigfoot in the Special Thanks section. Well, we were looking for this creature in the virtual world while it was creating those very worlds. This is where the official content about this myth in GTA San Andreas ends. Apparently, the developers didn't plan to address this topic at the time. The search for Bigfoot was a player-driven initiative which, almost out of nowhere, created a whole legend that was quite compelling to believe. Later, GTA 4 came along. By then, Rockstar was already aware of the incredible myths that had become popular in the GTA community. But in their new game, the developers preferred to stick to a serious and dark style, leaving no room for mysticism. However, in the media, the writers of GTA 4 did allow themselves to make several direct references to Bigfoot for players. It seems they were trying to play a little joke on the fans.
Urban myths are completely out of control in Liberty City. Police say they have had reports of weird floating cities out to sea and underground palaces. Others continue to claim a Sasquatch roams the city, while still others allege alligators drop down the toilet are growing into enormous sewer monsters. All in all, the city is full of lunatics.
This was the first official mention of Bigfoot in GTA. As an additional fact, I can note that one of the in-game websites contains comments from a user from Los Santos with an interesting nickname. Also, starting with GTA 4, the Yeti clothing brand appears, which is a parody of the real-life clothing brand, a bathing ape, while also clearly referencing both the Yeti and Bigfoot. This is perfectly clear from the title, as well as the logo, based on the famous footage taken in Northern California in 1967. The Yeti brand isn't often featured in the game, but its mere existence is intriguing. In 2010, Rockstar Games released Red Dead Redemption, and a few months later that same year, an expansion called Undead Nightmare was released. Essentially, it's an alternate version of the original RDR, set in a mystical zombie apocalypse. This DLC features an additional mission where the protagonist meets a hunter and then encounters Bigfoot. Completing this mission earns the player the achievement 6 years in the making. This is a reference to the search for Bigfoot in GTA San Andreas, as that game was released in 2004, while RDR Undead Nightmare came out 6 years later. Remarkably, both games were even released on the same day, October 26th. Thus, Rockstar, even outside of GTA, paid attention to a myth that had become very popular among fans of the series. 3 years later, GTA 5 was released, developing the Bigfoot theme even further. Let's start with the fact that the creature's image became part of the Los Santos coat of arms. Incidentally, I clearly remember noticing this even before the game's release, when the first trailer was released in 2011. If the coat of arms of such an important city in the GTA universe became associated with Bigfoot, one can imagine how important this theme became in the game's lore, and the importance Rockstar began to attach to it. This is also supported by some developer statements I found in a 2013 article in The New Yorker. While Rockstar had previously refuted the myth, it later began using Bigfoot and other mystical stories to keep players engaged. Indeed, even the content of GTA 5 clearly demonstrates this. At the beginning of the story, Michael visits Lester, a big fan of secrets and conspiracy theories. Another Bigfoot image can be found in his house. While that's a minor detail, the box labeled Bigfoot seems truly intriguing. Lester probably has a lot of information on the subject. There's also a magazine in this location, the cover of which also mentions Bigfoot. Obviously, this myth is popular in GTA 5 lore, but Lester's house contains nothing else about it. However, the game does have other interesting details. For example, in the mission Predator, when Michael is searching for an enemy in the forest with a sniper rifle, a silhouette of Bigfoot can be seen among the many deer, but it quickly disappears. Of course, it's just an Easter egg, but it looks cool, and besides, that's far from all the developers have added to the game. After completing GTA 5 to 100%, Franklin will unlock the additional mission, The Last One, which is a direct reference to a mission from Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare. In the middle of the forest and mountains, Frank encounters a hunter you've probably already recognized. He, like his ancestor from another game universe, is hunting Bigfoot and says he's been doing so for 8 years. This seems to be a reference to GTA San Andreas, where the search for this mythical creature originally began. Although 9 years passed between the release of that game and GTA 5, not 8. I'll tell you how this secret mission ends now, so if you don't want spoilers, skip ahead half a minute. Franklin manages to shoot Bigfoot, and it turns out he was a strange young man who enjoys running through the woods and impersonating the terrifying beast. He also claims to be the last of his kind, and that his population has lived in these forests for 1,000 years, just like Bigfoot from Red Dead Redemption. I think this is a really funny joke from Rockstar. The GTA developers did give us content related to this mysterious topic, and at the same time, through the costumed guy, they showed the fake nature of this story, and through the hunter, they depicted the insane nature of the years-long search that many GTA fans were engaged in. But even that wasn't the end of the Bigfoot theme. Over time, an Easter egg was added to GTA 5 that allows the player to become Bigfoot themselves. Achieving this isn't easy. First, you need to complete the game 100%, then complete the side mission, the last one, and also collect 27 Lopafora plants across the state. After completing these steps, the player can come to the foot of Mount Chiliad on a foggy Sunday and, between 5:30 and 8 a.m., find the first of 7 golden Lopafora plants. Consuming this plant will transform the protagonist into Bigfoot. Every subsequent day of the week, at the same time and in the same weather, the following 6 plants will appear near Mount Chiliad. Interestingly, after the transformation, evidence of a brutal crime, allegedly committed by Bigfoot himself, can be found near the player. These can include dead animals, human bodies, and an overturned car. After collecting all 7 golden Lopafora, the player will discover a dead Bigfoot hunter, at which point a new stage of the quest begins, searching for bodies left behind by another mythical creature called the Beast. To find them, the player must follow the sound emanating from the Beast. This may be challenging at first, but once successful, the player will reach this enemy and be able to fight it. After all this, Bigfoot, designated as Wild Animal, can be found in Director Mode. The previously mentioned Yeti clothing brand also appears in GTA 5, and it is even more common in this game than in the previous one. Such clothing is often worn by locals, and logos and even physical stores of this brand can be found in Los Santos. Interestingly, even the protagonist, Franklin in particular, can purchase such clothing. In GTA Online, Rockstar Games continued to add new Bigfoot-themed content. In addition to new clothing, themed tattoos for the player's character were added. One of these tattoos depicts the hunt for this mythical creature, while another features amusing dancing Bigfoots. The Bravado Paradise car was added to the game, one of whose liveries features a forest and a familiar silhouette. The creature's pelt can also be found as rare cargo in office missions. The player can also decorate their casino penthouse with paintings depicting Bigfoot. This painting is particularly cool, featuring various mythical creatures gathered together. If the player collects collectible figurines, after collecting 98, 2 special ones will appear, referencing the Easter egg from GTA 5, where Bigfoot and the Beast clashed. Once the figurines are collected, they can be used to decorate your penthouse. 3 variations of the Sasquatch car have also been added to the game. Looking at the design of these cars, it's not hard to guess the origin of their name. The theme of this mystical beast has even permeated GTA Online missions, so I'll now briefly touch on the final mission of the Doomsday Heist. If you don't want spoilers, skip ahead about 20 seconds into the video. When the player finds themselves inside Mount Chiliad, they'll encounter various drawings in one of the rooms related to arcane scientific knowledge. Among them, you'll notice a depiction of evolution, according to which Bigfoot is the next stage of evolution after human. It seems we now know the leading contender for the role of GTA 7's protagonist. At this point, we unexpectedly return to GTA San Andreas as Rockstar Games released the infamous Definitive Edition in 2021. Even before its release, data miners discovered that the game would feature an achievement system. Many of these achievements were borrowed from the PS3, PS4, and Xbox 360 versions of the original GTA San Andreas. But some trophies were completely new. This image particularly caught the player's attention, creating immense intrigue and suggesting that the developers would add Bigfoot to the game. It turned out to be much simpler. In the Definitive Edition, the player must travel 24 in-game hours on foot, or 24 real-world minutes within the countryside. This way, the player will prove themselves to be a Bigfoot seeker, earning the trophy. The trophy's name deserves special attention, as it indicates that players are 81 years too late. 81 years is the time between the storylines of Red Dead Redemption, Undead Nightmare, and GTA San Andreas. This is Rockstar's reference to a mission in the Red Dead Redemption DLC, which, unlike San Andreas, features Bigfoot. It's a closed loop, as it all started in San Andreas, then a reference appeared in Undead Nightmare, and then a return reference appeared in GTA San Andreas Definitive Edition. This trophy also caps off the Bigfoot story perfectly, as in the mid-2000s, the search for this creature was simply a player-driven endeavor, a naive desire to find hidden meaning where the game developers were merely imitating wildlife. But it later became so ingrained in GTA's informal culture that 17 years after San Andreas' release, its Definitive Edition now features an official achievement dedicated to the fan movement of mysticism seekers. I'd say it's a monument that captures the history of the GTA community. It would be nice to end my story here, but in fact, the Bigfoot theme didn't end there. and Rockstar continued adding content to GTA Online. For example, players who logged into the game during a certain period were able to earn a special suit. And in the Los Santos Drug Wars update, Bigfoot appears in a couple of missions, although it was merely a hallucination of the protagonist. An image of this creature also appears in the Freak Shop. Later, another Bigfoot variant, the Yeti, was added to online. During the winter holidays, players received a message from a hunter describing a monstrous beast inhabiting the forest. In the vicinity of Mount Tiliad, players had to find 5 traces of the Yeti's crimes, after which the creature would attack the player. It possessed great strength and health, but if it was defeated, the protagonist would receive a Yeti costume. As we can see, the Bigfoot myth has come a long way in 20 years. It began on gaming forums in 2004, received its own brand, materialized in several Easter eggs and missions in GTA 5 and even in Red Dead Redemption 2, was immortalized as an achievement in San Andreas, and even appears in new GTA Online content in the 2020s. The story of Bigfoot has become part of the Grand Theft Auto canon, but even after so much content from Rockstar, he has never appeared as a physically confirmed creature in GTA, meaning he remains an elusive and legendary myth. It was a truly action-packed adventure, and I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, and if you want to learn more about GTA games, subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. See you soon.